Versus Station with Kelly and Sam. This is Sam trying really hard to start us off. But you know what? I think it's good that it sort of went awry because it got me laughing and I think is cheering up the day a little bit. Kelly, I know that you're not feeling good, so I'm not going to ask you how you're feeling. And I also know that you're going to rant about stuff. So I'm going to tell you what I want to tell you first because
Okay, great.
that's how I'm like, I wish you guys could see her face because she did not know that that was coming. And I don't think she's thrilled about it.
I was just ready to start ranting. I have things to say.
Okay, I'm going to slow your roll a little bit because I watched Charlie's Angels this week and I have been so excited to talk to you about it. I watched the one with, and I knew I was going to forget everyone's names. I should have written it down. Lucy Liu and, oh, the girl with the red hair that was in E.T. And then the blonde. Drew Barrymore, her. And then the blonde one that isn't
Cameron Diaz.
Cameron Diaz. Thank you so much. And the funny guy that's in the zombie movie in Groundhog's Day. I love him too. And I don't remember what his name is. But there's
the zombie what? In Groundhog's Day?
Well, he's in Groundhog's Day.
Oh. I'm sorry. I thought you said he was the zombie in Groundhog's Day. And I'm like, I am lost.
No, he's in the zombie movie. You know, Double Tap. Yeah. Rule number 1 cardio. Whatever that movie is. Mm-hmm. Bill Murray.
Yes.
I think Philip was like, I don't know why you're watching this trash. And I was just like, what's not to love about this Charlie's Angels reboot? These women are gorgeous. Their acting skills are, you know, whatever. Bill Murray's fantastic. There's a great soundtrack. Like, it's all great, like pop songs that are way fun. Whatever that guy's name that plays the bad guy in the end.
But hold on. Are you telling me that you just watched Charlie's Angels for the first time?
No, not for the first time, but for the first time in 20 years. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, I don't know why I don't watch this movie more often. It made me so happy. I was like, there's romance, there's like mystery, there's action, there's like cute outfits that are ridiculous. There's clearly these women would never solve a mystery or beat up a guy. There's just like no possible way in reality. But I just thought it was so entertaining and I was so happy with myself for like 90 minutes as I watched this movie.
Well, we quote that movie quite a bit in this household because Tom Green's name is Chad. And so it's always, was it the Chad? It might have been the Chad.
It might have been. And you're a redhead. That's perfect.
Yeah, or sometimes it's like, it was definitely not the Chad.
I guess Tom Green was married to
Drew Barrymore. Yeah.
No, Cameron Diaz.
No, I think it was Drew Barrymore.
Oh, Drew Barrymore. I think he like got diagnosed with testicular cancer like during the filming of that show.
Huh.
And
he's not the greatest actor, but I mean, I'm sorry about his testicles.
I think that he might have been like the best actor in that movie at the time. I don't know. It was just I had forgotten about the Chad until I watched that. And I was like, oh my gosh, that used to be something that people said all the time. Mm-hmm. And anyway, and Sam Rockwell, that's his name. Oh. I think he's kind of handsome when he turns into the bad guy and he puts on those like fancy shoes and does a little fancy dancing. I was like, oh, I remember having a crush on you when I was younger. Anyway, I was just so happy with it.
Speaking about fancy and dancing shoes, did you watch the Super Bowl halftime show?
No.
Oh, come on, Bad Bunny. He is like so sexy. I can't get him out of my head.
Bunny.
Who cares? I don't care what his name is. Your name's Samantha.
You are trying to be like a famous person in this world. And you're like, the name I'm going to pick is Bad Bunny.
I will call him whatever he wants to be called. He is so sexy. And Pedro Pascal was there dancing. And then Ricky Martin showed up and Lady Gaga. I was in love.
You know, the boys at boys camp call Philip the Walmart Pedro Pascal. They say that he looks like great value Pedro Pascal, which
I kind of love that.
I don't know how to feel about that. Anyway. Okay. Well, I probably won't for a handful of reasons that I'm sure you can guess, but I'll take your word for it.
I loved it.
Yeah. So you went to work.
Yeah. So let's start there. I did go to work. So I worked, so Super Bowl was on Sunday. I went to work Monday and Tuesday. We have been slammed. As you can hear, I have what I'm guessing is influenza A because that's what everyone has right now. But I went to work Monday and Tuesday, and we have just been crazy, crazy busy. So many sick kids, probably more kids than we've seen in years. So I thought Monday was bad. Tuesday, all I thought when I woke up is I should probably call off. I feel like I have a fever and all these things, but I'm just going to go for it because I had picked up an extra 4 hours, so it was going to be time and a half. That entire shift, I regretted that decision. Multiple people called off. We were even busier. We had like the entire hallway filled to the point where we ran out of stretchers. The entire adult side and the ped side had no stretchers. So I'm cleaning recliners and putting them in the back hallway of the adult side like we used to.
Oh, yeah.
To run chairs out of with one of our wonderful mid-levels. Our attending provider was so upset that he was calling administration on call, which I thought was the greatest thing
There's
ever.
only one he that I've
There's
ever
only
met
one
that would
he,
do
and you
that.
know who he was.
You.
We were boarding at one point, I think, 7 admissions, 2 of them PICU patients. We were like running amok. I seriously felt like we were in a real episode of The Pit. Then we had like a level 2 trauma come in who he was okay, but we couldn't manage his pain. Anyways, it was nonsense. By the end of the shift, I'm pretty sure I had broken my fever because I was sweating everywhere. I'm sounding like I do now. I was going to take a blood bag back, and instead I just took the ice bag out of the blood bag and sat down and put it on my lower back. This is how we like finished the shift. Got home, chugged some NyQuil, and then I have like tried to sleep for the last 24 hours.
I'm sorry.
It's been insane. It's okay. We were working with some really fun people, and so it just got to the level of ridiculousness that it was comical. It was like,
that's good.
there's nothing we can do. Yeah, just bounce around, putting out fires.
No. Well, that kind of sounds like fun. That doesn't sound like a rant.
Well, if I had felt better, it would have been okay.
Okay.
But part of my rant is I think I was sicker than half of the people that we were seeing.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like I have a mask on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like taking Dayquil and Excedrin and trying to chug my water and my emergency, and I'm running on nothing. I think I had one 15-minute break in a 12-hour shift. Our charge nurse had like a 20-minute lunch before I had to interrupt her during a 16-hour shift. And then you're like checking people in and they're like, this is so busy. And how long is it going to be? And I'm just like, it's going to be what it is.
Yeah.
I am sicker than your child is right now. And I'm here. So.
I really expected, I worked the whole weekend and I expected Sunday night to just be unlivable, unmanageable for the ER staff. And it really wasn't, which it usually is. Super Bowl Sunday is usually horrible as soon as the Super Bowl is done. And it really wasn't. So it just held off for Monday, I guess.
Monday and Tuesday. And then the funny thing is that we're texting management like SOS. Like we have nowhere to put patients. We are boarding so many patients. Well, I think we hit the point where we didn't even have time to do that. But at 10:45, our A&M walks in with his scrubs on, and we're like, dude, now you show up? Like for the last 8 hours, we have been running amok, and we're finally kind of getting it settled. And we gave him so much crap. We're like, the prodigal son returns. Thank you. But, he did bring everybody's spirits up.
That's nice. Yeah. He is good at that.
Yes.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm like kind of jealous that you got to work and that it was busy, and sort of happy that our numbers are up though, because like our census has been really low. But that does sound. What do you do when you're holding patients? Like all of the rooms upstairs were full, or they just couldn't manage more patients?
No, they were full. Like they were bunking kids and they were moving peds patients into ICU. We were trying everything we could. We sent a couple kids to the adult world because they
Oh,
were older
wow.
teenagers. I mean, it was crazy.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, we had like level 2s sitting in the lobby that we like put in the hallway to get started. We were starting lines in the hallway. It was
Nice.
crazy.
Seems like a real ER. I
I
love
know
that.
it was kind of fun though, because I think the people in the hallway were kind of enjoying themselves, honestly, because they were just watching people run around, and there's like ambulances coming in and people screaming and
It's like the crazier it gets and like the more intense the ER gets, the less rules that you have to follow. And that's kind of what I love about it. I'm like,
oh,
yeah.
for sure. I did not scan anything, I don't think,
Oh,
for the entire shift.
okay. That's not
Well,
okay.
I still double checked everything, and that, I tried, but then when I was running like the back hallway, somebody brought me a computer. Well, it wouldn't work, and the scanner wouldn't work. So it just, what am I going to do? Spend a half an hour trying to fix this computer or get 3 patients out?
No, that's true. I guess I can't think off the top of my head exactly what rules it is, what rules like go out the window in what order, but there's just like a level of chaos that you're just like, all right, like, let's go. It's just, I'm not a creative person in any stretch of the imagination. I actually just like, we had to do painting today at homeschool day, but there's something creative about once it's all going to crap. Is that the right word? What, like, how am I struggling to describe this? Maybe you have a better sense of
Yeah,
it.
it's like, you don't even have a section really anymore. Like, there
Yeah.
aren't patients that are just yours. It's like a free for all. Like, if you are not doing anything in this 30 seconds, there's something to do, and you don't ask permission. You don't see.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, I can do this. I can do this. I can do this.
It's just like maybe like laser tag, like some sort of video game. And you're just like, how am I going to operate? All right, let's go. I got
Right.
it. I got it all. I can do
Well,
it.
and of course, like, I was float nurse, and so that literally was me just bouncing from one thing to another. Like,
Yeah.
I'm going to set up these chairs. I'm going to go to triage. I'm going to go do first nurse. Oh, you need me to throw a line in? I got to do this. I got to go run this trauma now. Now I got to take this person up to pick you. It was
Oh,
crazy.
that sounds like so much. Actually sounds like more fun than it being like in the middle kind of busy,
Yeah.
where it's just like drudgery and there's just always one more patient in the lobby and you just want to, yeah, end yourself because you don't want to do this anymore. So, yeah.
One of the best parts was really like listening to our provider just at his wit's end, just talking to administration. Like, he was trying to put us on divert, which we're the only trauma hospital in a certain area, so we cannot go on divert.
Yeah.
But just hearing that conversation was probably the best part of it.
And you just left me at home to not be part of it. So
So
thanks,
sorry.
Kelly.
You're welcome.
Just
I was
always
not in charge. I was the bouncer.
the forgotten child, me, not really loved by anyone. It's fine.
Oh, so sad.
Speaking of which, we're going to talk about belonging, love, um, survival
Yeah.
today. Can we get there that way?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, so we talk a lot about um, new nurses to old grumpy nurses like us. And we have a lot of student nurses, and in nursing school and in a lot of whatever school, college, you learn about Maslow's hierarchy. So I know it kind of gives you this ick feeling because you think about old textbooks have you burned your textbooks yet, by the way?
No.
Oh, okay.
I knew you were going to ask me. They're still sitting in a pile.
um, Anyways, I was sitting there one day and I'm thinking about all these like levels that we go through as new nurses. And I feel like it's kind of on the same level of how you grow up, like from a child to an adult. I live this with my young adult children right now, too, as they're kind of learning to make their way in the world. And so I thought it would be kind of interesting to see if we can correlate that to baby nurses and how they grow.
But I think you're talking about two different things, though.
Am I?
Well, there's Maslow's hierarchy, which doesn't have to do, I don't think, with like aging. That's stages of development. That's that other person.
Yeah, that's what I meant, like, from a young adult. Like, it's not like childhood stages. It's stop looking at me like that. What am I? What? It's like growing it, like your personality. Okay, here, I'll read the definition, okay?
Oh, okay.
Maslow's hierarchy of needs explains how human motivation progresses from basic physiological needs to higher level growth needs.
Uh-huh.
So, it doesn't always go like in a progressive order, but it helps explain why unmet basic needs can make it harder to pursue personal growth and fulfillment.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm saying is like my 20-year-old daughter is just now trying to figure out how to take care of herself as an adult from like a physiological level. She's not at that like self-actualization yet.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I don't think we agree on this.
Okay.
I think that Maslow's is like in any situation or for any person at any stage, you have to have these things met before you can have the other things met. So it doesn't matter what stage you're in or where you're at. You have to meet the bottom of the pyramid. Like those things have to be taken care of before you can take care of the other things. So it's not necessarily like your progression through the needs. It's more of like if you want to have self-actualization or like you can't feel love and feel belonging if you're hungry.
Yeah.
So it's like you have to check the boxes off. But I think ideally, like they're supposed to all be done. Like you're supposed to be working on like the top two, maybe like all of the time. Because all of the other ones, but I think what you're talking about is Erikson's stages of development. And so like what your daughter is in intimacy versus isolation or identity versus role confusion, right? And so that's the adolescents explore personal values, beliefs, goals, fostering fidelity. Young adults focus on forming intimate, loving relationships resulting in love. But they can't do any of that but like we can't do any of what we do unless the bottoms of our pyramids are met. It doesn't matter where you're at in the cycle, like all those things have to be met.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
We'll just go with both of those. Yeah.
Okay.
Sam, I already told you I'm on NyQuil right now. Dayquil,
no, it's okay.
I think. So this might be like all over the place, but let's just
Can I add one more thing?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. I agree. I want to talk about it as like brand new nurses, like to the industry, to the field. Gosh, I spent a day doing other stuff yesterday. To the profession, that's the word that I'm looking for. But I also think that it's true recently, having started on a different unit. I mean, I think it's true when we go to a different unit too.
Yeah. No, I agree. So let's back up. So like let's just talk about like a brand new nurse, brand new baby nurse, like just graduated. Right?
Yeah.
So on the Maslow scale, if you go to physiological needs.
Yeah.
So this is basically food, water,
shelter.
Where the bathroom is, shelter. Yeah. We've all seen these kids and well, sometimes they're older, right? It doesn't matter. But these like baby nurses walk in and this like shell-shocked look on their face. And it's like, how do I expect them to take care of patients when they don't even know where the bathroom is or the code to the break room is? Things like that.
Yes, I agree. And I would maybe agree to a point that this is still the part that I struggle with the most when I go to a new unit. And I think it's like the biggest part of the pyramid for a reason is because in a lot of ways, I think these are the most difficult things to learn and get down like pat, I guess is what I was going to say, although it doesn't sound very eloquent. Like knowing where things are in your unit is paramount to functioning at all, period. And I
Right.
still find myself like learning that even on our unit and especially going to a new unit. I'm like, actually, don't tell me about any of your processes. Like, uh, don't tell me anything about where patients are moving to. I don't know, like what I need to know is where do I sit? What rooms do I have? Like, where's the doctor? Where are the warm blankets? Where's the patient bathroom? Like, I need to know where things are.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
and this is where I feel so sorry for, I mean, we are very lucky. We're a closed unit, so we don't float.
mhm.
Um, but, when I worked, um, on the floors and you float somewhere, it is so, like, discombobulating just to be in a new place. Even if you've been there before, it's just I don't know the codes to anything. I don't know. And I would always walk into patients' rooms and be like, "I promise I know how to take care of you. I just don't know where anything is." So if you see me fumbling around, it's not because I'm a bad nurse. It's because I don't know what I'm doing, like where I am.
Oh, absolutely. It must have been on the adult side I was taking care of a patient and they were so sweet and nice. Oh, just this honestly lovely family, older gentleman, 65. You'll actually appreciate this. He should have been like a case study because he came in for a fall, ended up being in the 80s in room air because he had a pneumonia from the flu and then also was in DKA. So it was just just this like 2.5 hour progression of me trying to fix one problem just to find another problem that I needed to fix. But like, I don't know where the C collars are, right? Like, I don't know where the stuff is to wash out the wound. And then I don't know where the nasal cannulas weren't where I thought that they were. But then I need an oxy mask. And then I can't find an oxy mask. And then I want him on high flow, but I don't know where the high flow stuff is. And then after that, I didn't even know where the bag of insulin was to start to start the insulin drip. The nurse that was helping me was like, well, did you grab the insulin? And I'm like, pit like, but they haven't sent it to me yet. Pharmacy hasn't sent it. She's like, you just get it out of the Pyxis. I'm like, oh, okay. And the sister of the patient is a internalist, and I don't know
Mhm.
how you say that. And I had to tell her that multiple times. I was like, I am so sorry. Like, it's not that I don't like, I'm not a bad nurse. I've been doing this for 15 years. It's honest to goodness that I'm just like making this look a lot harder than it is today.
Yeah. Yeah,
Just,
when you're just walking in circles and your brain is like 5 steps ahead of what you need to be doing, but like I can't find what I need to do for step 1.
yeah.
That can be so frustrating.
I have to open every single drawer in the IV cart to find the alcohol because I don't know what drawer it's in. Yeah.
But I think what's different for us, so that's where, yeah, you can be anywhere on the pyramid. But for like these new nurses, they don't even think 5 steps ahead. Like their number one step is, you know, how do I get IV tubing? Where is it? They don't even think about like the 5 other things that they need to be doing. And I think we expect them to.
Okay, let's just if maybe we'll never move off of step 1, but I think some of the nurses that I've been the most impressed with in my career are, like, travelers that don't seem to be bothered by this. They somehow, like, have this ability to either, like, memorize where things are or they've sort of figured out the patterns of hospitals. Like, this doesn't seem to slow them down, this idea of, like, where are things? They just find them
Yeah.
and keep moving about their business, and I, like, have been trying to be more like those kinds of nurses where I don't stop and ask for help with those things, I just go make it happen and find it myself.
When
Um,
when I was a baby nurse, I only worked 1 year on a med surg unit. And then I took an agency position because
oh,
I wanted to make more money.
yeah,
And that was terrifying, but you literally get about 15 minutes orientation. So I would just call in the morning in Denver, like this huge city, and they would tell me what hospital I was going to and what unit. And I would show up and they'd be like, great, here you go. And you always got the worst patients,
sure.
right? Because they
Yeah.
don't know you. Um, and they would like have the chargers walk you around. You get about 10 minutes, 15 minutes, maybe, and then you were on your own. And so, yeah, I think those people have to learn real quick. Just, okay, who do I ask? Like, who's the nice person? You are? Okay, I'm going to ask you all my questions today.
And I mean, I do also think that there are some people that are just less particular than me, which is not hard to do, but maybe even less particular than you
Yeah.
as well, in the sense of like, I don't care if I sit at that table and eat lunch. Like, I don't care if I put my backpack there. I don't care if and I'm like, well, I want it all in a very, very specific way, very specific things. So I think some of that is harder to do. I know what you're saying. I get what you're trying to say about baby nurses. I do kind of expect a lot of them. Like, because you're not doing all of the higher level stuff and because you're only at this one level, I do sort of expect it to be picked up quickly.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Like that's your number one priority is
It's your number one priority. Yeah. Mhm.
yeah, you got to figure out the basics and I'll take care of
And
the big stuff.
yeah, so I don't know, maybe I'm less, I have less grace about it than you do when it comes to like, yeah, not knowing where things are.
Well, the next step I think goes back to what we talked about last week. Um, workplace violence. And hopefully we're still employed after that aired.
Mm,
But the second one is security and safety.
yeah.
So the need starts to become a bit more complex. At this level, the needs for security and safety becomes primary. People want control and order in their lives. And so basic security and safety needs include financial security, health and wellness, and safety against accidents and injury.
The one
So,
that I'm looking at also says personal security,
mhm,
resources, health.
mhm.
Okay.
So where are nurses at? We just throw that need away? Because I feel
Well,
like me working with the flu and icing my back with blood bag ice. Um, I feel like in the moment, a lot of times it's just like me. I don't need to feel safe and secure right now.
well, I think okay. I think you behave that way because you feel safe and secure. So I think that might be the argument that I
Oh,
make about that.
okay.
But when I think of like a new nurse or a new to the unit nurse, I think this comes in feeling safe as in you're not going to get in trouble. You're not going to lose your job. You have more confidence in the patterns that you see in that unit or what to expect in that unit. Like
Mm,
you you have say like the personal security or resources, I think is a big one. Like you get to this point and you are confident that someone is going to come and help you. Like maybe if you're a new nurse, like
mm.
you aren't sweating bullets all of the time that like you can just kill a person when you walk in the room. You feel a little bit more safe. You feel more comfortable taking on a critical patient because you know that if you need help, someone will come. You don't feel like you're stuck in there and like if you don't know what to do, then it's all on you. I think
That's actually a really good point. I like that. I think that that's where a lot of nurses probably bail out of a new unit is if
mm,
they don't feel that.
oh yeah.
I've worked on some units and we talk about like eating our young. That's more of a personality thing, I think.
I disagree, but okay.
I have worked on a unit where I felt like it was all on me, and if I asked a question, I was looked at like I was stupid,
Yeah.
and that makes you feel so icky inside. It makes you feel like um, you're not secure in that job. That
Yeah.
if I make a mistake or if I screw up, nobody's going to have my back. And so then you're at more of a risk to screw up because you don't want to ask any questions or you don't have anyone to like go to.
Sorry, I thought you were done a couple of times there and I was going to jump in, but I didn't want to interrupt you. But now I think that you are done. But I agree. No, I agree with you. I think I might like interpret especially like the mean girl part of it differently in or the eating your young. You didn't say mean girl, sorry. I said that. The eating your young part of it differently, but the safety and security, I don't think so much of like asking a question, but just like, are people going to come? Like not just when I ask like a simple question that I need help with, or like, where is something, or can I take a break? But for me, like when, and maybe, I mean, we are different nurses, and I would say that you are like a couple of steps just better than I am in a number of ways.
No.
And I don't like being like the most senior nurse on the unit, because I know that there are like depths that I can't handle. Like I can become underwater or get out of my depth with like a critical patient. I know that about myself. I know that as a nurse. So what I have done is always make sure that I have resources and I know who to call. And if that wasn't met, then I wouldn't feel like, I would be very concerned. And we had that situation a few years ago on our night shift. There
Mm-hmm.
was like there were certain nights where I felt so terrified to be on the unit, because I was like, this could get out of hand very quickly. And so for me, it's not so much if you ask a question and the nurse rolls her eyes at you and walks away, or gives you a snotty answer, because maybe your question was dumb and a waste of my time and you could have figured it out all by yourself. But it's more of like, hey, when like I cannot get my patient sats above 78 and I'm just standing here staring at them, is someone gonna come rescue me and this patient?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think too, there's some people that feel a little too secure.
Well, that's interesting. Go on.
We all know those people that think that they can handle things that they can't. And
Mm.
they feel maybe a little too safe, a little too secure, to the point where it can be a little dangerous, right? Because
I don't think
they're
I
not
have
asking
any
for that help.
comment that I can make recorded about this subject. Hey. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. So
Oh.
maybe we just leave it there
Maybe we
at
just
that comment.
like getting blotchy. I can't do this.
Okay, so you know where things are. You feel safe that somebody's gonna help you in a bad situation.
Yeah.
So the next step, this is the one that I think we're
Wait.
gonna have a lot to say about.
Okay, but
Oh,
can we go back to the
yeah.
safety before we do that? I mean, it's yes, it's safety that someone's gonna help you, but I think there's also like a security in that I know that when I walk on the unit and I get put in triage, I'm not gonna have a panic attack. I know that if I have a shift scheduled, I'm going to reasonably get that shift and not get called off, and that, so that I can pay my mortgage. I know that when I walk into work, like, I probably won't get floated because we're sharing all of the float like we're supposed to. I'm not just getting kicked out of the unit. I think there are other things that go with it too. So,
No, that's a really good point. And I think, we've talked about it before. We work in a hospital that has a union, and I feel like the union fights for a lot of those security
that's true.
issues of like layoff language and things like that. So that like we don't have to worry if we're having a sustained low census that we're going to get laid off.
Yeah, that's true.
So
So,
yeah,
I
that's a
think
good
that
point.
goes with that, like, just security part of it. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, continue on.
Okay. So the next one is love and belonging. Um, so the social needs include love, acceptance, and belonging. And at this level, the needs for emotional relationships drives human behavior. So this um, things that satisfy this need include friends, family, lovers, and then involvement in groups, such as group
Oh,
activities.
you're not done yet. Okay, group activities, great.
Um, you start with this one. How do you
Well,
think nurses move into this stage? And do you think this stage is really necessary?
okay, rude, but when you describe this stage, the first thing that comes to mind is this is the third step. So you can't have this step until you've done the other two steps, which for me is to say, you can't be part of the best friend club of the unit that you're on the second you get there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm so sorry to everyone that immediately gets hired and wants to know why, they don't get to sit at the desk and gab with everyone about, their lives and the 10 years that we've all spent working together. Because love, friendship, and belonging is the third step.
I know, and it sounds mean when you say that. Um,
Thanks. Great. Yeah, I know. I know it does.
no, I mean, it really does, but I don't disagree with you. Um, I feel like that's just our culture is that sounds mean. Like, hey, you're not my friend yet. Um, do you know where to get an Ambu bag if you need it?
Yeah.
You know, if someone walks in and drops a baby in the lobby and you happen to be the one there, what are you going to do? Like these are your basic things that you need before we get to the lovey belonging. Like I have good friends like on the unit because I know that they can do their job. And I agree with you. I think that nurses in general, and maybe this is a female thing too, is they just want to be a part of the group
Yeah.
a little too soon.
And I totally understand that desire. Like going to a new unit and learning to operate over there. Of course, right? Like when the assignments are handed out, I don't want to be the one that's like shunted to the back corner of Siberia unit to like sit by myself and handle my patients. Like that doesn't feel good. And that's not how I want to spend 12 hours, but I know that that's where you start in like a social group. Like I have to prove to this social group that I can do what I'm asked, that I am like a reasonable, like I'm a good player, I'm a good team member, right? Like I can I can, yeah, sit and do what I'm asked. I can do a good job about it. I cannot whine about it. I can help others and be available. And as I prove those more basic things, then you get brought into the fold a little bit more and a little bit more.
Hmm.
So I know that we haven't talked about like skills in this, but yeah, when I look at love and belonging and friendship, that's part of it, I
Yeah.
think. So,
Well, I know I've worked with one nurse and she was a little too quick to be like joking with me. And I
mhm,
joke around all the time at work. But to me, when she was like trying to like joke around and have fun, it made it seem to me that you're not taking this seriously.
mm,
Especially like if you're doing it at the wrong moment, like especially if you say something in front of a patient. I don't know you well enough to know like if you know that you just crossed a line.
mm,
Does that make sense?
yeah, yeah,
You know, sometimes you and I will look at each other from across the room and like just roll our eyes and then we can kind of laugh under our breath and move on. But if you're a new person that I haven't like worked with and you do that to me, I'm just like, do you know what you're doing right now? Like
yeah,
I also agree that I want to roll my eyes right now, but I know why I'm rolling my eyes. I don't know why you're rolling your eyes
right.
until
And if this ship is going to go down, I want to go down with someone that I know. Like I'm not getting in trouble for your BS. So don't
right.
drag me into this.
Exactly.
I maybe if we talk about it in terms of like the pyramid and the actual person, not like our perspective being maybe
Mhm.
in the clique. If you're already trying to connect on that third level of love and belonging, then I think it signals that you have accomplished these other two goals. And if you really haven't, but you think that you have, going back to what you said about someone that's overly confident, I think that sends warning bells to the rest of us. So if I bebop onto a unit and like I'm spending my time and energy and like emotional energy trying to connect and be friends, not trying to figure out where the pure wicks are, then
Right.
I think then my energy is misplaced and I have misjudged my hierarchy in some way.
Yeah. And to go back to like my daughter, who I know you think that this doesn't correlate, but when I see her spending like the majority of her energy and her effort on like this social love and belonging aspect, but you're now an adult and
Yeah.
you have to provide for yourself, you have to know how to take care of yourself, you have to make sure that your safety and well-being is taken care of, that's where, as a parent, again, like the safety alarm is going off of like, oh no, you have things out of whack.
Actually, when you say it like that, I don't think that you're wrong, because when you put it in that frame or you're talking about your daughter in that way, she's moved, not necessarily like a stage. Like, yes, she is moving into different stages and trying to progress through that. I think that that's one issue. I think maybe what you're getting at is that she's had a shift in this hierarchy. So those first two things were taken care of. And now,
Right.
because she has moved into this other stage, they are now not taken care of. And so the appropriate action is to kind of like drop back down
Mm-hmm.
and start building them up again. But if we don't, or she doesn't realize that and get clued into that, and she's still sitting there at love and belonging, then yeah, that's like a problem. So I see what you're saying now. I think I was just thinking of it in a different way.
Yeah. And I think, we've talked about how it's so important to teach our children to be independent. And I feel like that's the same thing with newer staff or newer nurses. Is my goal, if I'm precepting you or if I'm your charge nurse and you're younger, is that I want to teach you these basic skills so that you can be independent. And so if you already think you're independent and you already think that you're like the cool kid and you already think that you know everything, then it is then my job as like the quote unquote mom in this situation to be like, oh, but hold on. Do you know where the Mboo bag is? And then I look like the biatch that's like knocking them down a peg, but I think it's necessary.
Yes, I agree with you. Would it shock you to tell you that I actually really like precepting?
Um, no.
Oh, really? Oh, good.
No, I think that you like telling people how to do things your way. So
That's not why.
no, because you want people to do things the right way, and you're very good at that.
Okay. I feel like I'm totally misunderstood by so many people. I'm just gonna throw No, actually, I don't get to precept where we work, and that is not because I have, like, an HR record full of saying mean things to people. It's because of my employment status. But the last person I got to, like, really precept, she no longer works with us, and she was so sweet. We have very similar personalities. We actually have the same birthday, which is sort of fun. But I actually really love seeing someone take something that they're nervous about or not really good at or haven't tried yet, and maybe don't think that they can easily, and
Mhm.
then helping them do that. I find that so, I don't know, is that really selfish? I find that, like, so
No.
satisfying and rewarding. I don't wanna help you do something easy. I don't really wanna help you do something that you already can do. I kinda wanna help you do something
Mhm.
that, like, you don't think that you can do, and I don't know, that I think that just I really enjoy that about precepting. So, like, don't ask me a stupid question that you can figure out yourself. Like, ask me something that's kind of interesting and hard, and we can walk through it together. And meeting those, like, physiologic needs and safety needs in tandem for you actually helps build that third one up,
Yeah,
I think. I don't know.
absolutely.
I
Yeah,
love it.
and it's fun to see people progress and do better. I mean, that's the educator in all of us, I think.
No, I don't like it when you say it that way. It sounds lame and boring. I
You're
want you to give me,
you're
like,
lame and boring.
a hard goal. Look, I have, like, these 8 little kids in my little, like, homeschool thing, and, like, none of them thought that they could be memory master, and I told them, "Well, I'm not gonna help you with any of the review questions, and I'm not ever gonna give you the right answer, and I'm also not gonna give you candy for it." And I think they're all gonna be memory masters, and I'm so excited. I think they're gonna do such a good job. What?
That sounds so mean. You're like, "I
No!
have these 8 kids that I was horrible to and told them I wasn't gonna help at all, and they just figured it out on their own because I'm a terrible teacher."
No, that's not true. I give them stickers instead of candy, but I think that there's something about people having, like, a challenge and maybe having someone. Okay, the other thing that I did, they have to give presentations every week, and they were just giving their, "This is my toy. Any questions?" And I was like, "No. Your presentations have to be 2 minutes. I don't care if you talk for 2 minutes or if you just stand there quietly for 2 minutes, but you are gonna be up giving your presentation for 2 minutes, every single one of you." I started a timer, and I just, like, put my hand up within 2 minutes. The first like 2 weeks, all of them are like, I don't know. And now they can all like talk fluently for 2 minutes about whatever the thing is that they want to talk about. And it's so amazing. And I love
That's
it.
really cute. That's
Thank
really
you.
cute. I
I'm
like
not mean and horrible. I'm fun. Well, I'm not really fun. I don't sing songs or do games like the other teachers either. We just like get through the crap and then they know it and we can move on. And it's
that.
fantastic.
There you go. All right.
Okay.
So moving on after.
Fair enough. Sorry, that was a tangent. I just wanted to talk about that.
Well, because the next thing is esteem. And how did I just make you feel? Did I just did I raise your esteem? So the fourth level is the need for appreciation and respect. So this goes beyond just love and belonging. Now you actually want to be appreciated and respected. And I feel like this is where I live most of the time.
Do you?
Yeah.
Demanding respect from people.
I know. Well, my love language is words of affirmation. And if you don't tell me I did a good job, then how do I know if I did a good job?
Right.
So it includes both internal feelings of competence and as well as external validation for accomplishments. How do you feel about that?
Oh, I don't like any of this.
You don't like feeling like you were told good job?
All I see is pride. I see the word and it just makes me very nervous about all of the bad things that can happen there. And I just want to stay out of it.
Oh, well, I mean, I think that we're built to want to feel good about ourselves. I don't think that that's necessarily a bad thing.
I think that that's very risky.
Okay, well, you go on feeling horrible about yourself and that
36 years in.
Asking for you to pat me on the back, please.
No, I mean, I think that these are all things that we want. And I agree that they are healthy in the right context and in the right dosage. What I see as a risk here is that it becomes something that, for one, is necessary for you to feel like you are good or worthy at your job or that you belong there, which, like, yes, we need, but also just because someone tells you that you do a good job doesn't mean that that's true or that it's not true. And then I think what I see is that we always have to say nice things about people.
It does go into the everybody gets a medal land. And that really bothers me as someone who really wants a medal for doing a good job because not everyone deserves a medal.
Fair enough. There you go.
I think this is where we get into the joking around about the Daisy Award. Because the Daisy Award, for those of you that don't know, is supposed to be for like going above and beyond as a nurse in patients' eyes. And we all know that the nurses that truly are just outstanding nurses and you want that person taking care of you, they don't get daisies.
Because the patient would never know.
Right.
Yeah.
And so there's just this joke that, we get dandelions and we'll never have a daisy. I'll never have a daisy. But if I did, actually one of our friends at work, she got a daisy. Do you remember this? And
doesn't she have two?
Well, no, this is a different person.
Oh, okay.
Because all you have to do to get a daisy is have a patient fill out a form for a Daisy Award. It doesn't even matter what it says. And so she got a daisy and literally someone had written on there, she was a competent nurse, period. So she has her daisy pinned on her badge for her being a competent nurse.
And I thought you had to like get drawn. I thought there was like, they all got like submitted and then like somebody decided of all of like the Daisy nominees who got the Daisy.
I think that's the Nurse Excellence Award where they actually like do a ceremony. Because those nurses can nominate other nurses for And I have nominated other nurses for that before. And that you have to like write out why they are a phenomenal nurse. That would really fill like your esteem bucket if it was your coworker saying it, right?
See, I
Not,
get nervous even wanting one of those. I don't even like, I just have to tell myself, I don't even want one of those things. I don't.
which means that you really do deep down want it.
But what does a firstborn daughter Virgo Enneagram 1 do better than shove down any reasonable emotion for literally anything?
Oh, that's so sweet.
Uh-huh.
So conversely, those who lack self-esteem and the respect of others develop
Whoa.
feelings of inferiority.
Esteem or self-esteem? I think these are two different things.
No, well,
No? Okay.
I think esteem and self-esteem are the same. This just says those who lack self-esteem and the respect of others can develop feelings of inferiority.
I think it's only fun if we talk about inferiority complexes.
Okay. Well, I think that
Okay.
people So I think that if you're feeling inferior in your job, maybe you need to dig um, back down the rabbit hole and
Take
see why
some
that
steps
is.
back. Okay. How would I say this? So, sure, clearly this is like a thing that everyone else agrees on because it's in Maslow's. I definitely like being respected. I don't think that I necessarily need a gold star from like the powers that be, but I think you're right. Like I do crave to be considered like competent and be respected in my profession and by my peers, and by the
Absolutely.
doctors. Absolutely. Like that is something, I think because we're not all like perfect people that can just like go about this depending on our personalities or our other proclivities or our other issues. Sometimes we may not always believe that what others say about us to ourselves. And that's what I don't like. I don't know what that, what the DCSM has to say about that, but I think that's what I don't like about this one. It's like
Uh-huh.
I don't like being told what people think about me if it's
You're
positive.
uncomfortable being told that you're doing a good job, but
Yeah,
you secretly want to be doing a good job and you are doing a good job.
but I also don't wanna feel I don't want people to feel like I need to hear it from them, because then that has like an ick too.
But I think that the people that you're close with, because I know sometimes you'll come up to me and you're like, "Did you see? Did you
Yeah, that's true.
see?" You know? And it's like, "Yeah, I did. You're awesome." And you're like, "Yay."
Yeah,
So I think you do like you seek that out. We all do from people that we trust and that we
yeah,
know that we can be a little bit vulnerable with. Be like,
that's a good
"Can
point.
you please tell me that I did a good job because I feel like crap right now?"
That's fair too. That's when you're like, maybe you miss something, right? Like you miss
Mhm.
something in the lobby and you have to go to those people that you know like won't think less of you and be like, "Can you please just tell me that I'm not always horrible at my job? I know that this is my fault and I messed up here, but like that's not the end of the world, right?" And then
Yeah,
yeah, that's what I was
totally.
thinking. Yeah.
So, real quickly, the last one is self actualization. So, it may be loosely described as the full use and exploitation of talents, capabilities, potentials, etc. Such people seem to be fulfilling themselves and to be doing the best that they are capable of doing. They are people who have developed or are developing to the full stature of what they are capable. I don't think I'll ever get there.
I think this is exactly what we were talking about in the beginning. I don't think so. Wait, hold on, hold on. Dang it, Kelly, I had like a good loop around, but I'm gonna go back to what you said. Do you feel like you'll never get here because you don't feel like you can, or you're just saying that your potential is just so infinitely great that it's just unreasonable to do in one lifetime? I'm not sure.
Um, I probably come off as the second part.
Yeah, well, that's why I'd like to know.
But no, I think internally, I feel like every time I feel like, and this is just human beings, I think in general, is that every time you think that you've like achieved a certain level, there's always like something that'll bring you
Oh,
back
sure.
down or there'll be another level to achieve, right? And so I think that's why this is like the pinnacle that I don't think anybody's ever going to truly reach.
Well, this is like, why you don't like wanna talk about being on an IV, like, one hit wonder. like train, right? Because then you're not going to be able to hit the broadside of a barn for like 2 weeks.
Right.
I think that what you're saying that you're nervous about is definitely like the fall that comes after Pride. But I also think that this is kind of what we were talking about in the beginning, when you were talking about how busy it was. And both of us were like, I kind of love it when it's busy because I can just do what I know how to do in the most deep and stressful and, oh shucks, like reflexive kind of way. Like when it's that busy, you're not really like thinking or mapping everything out like you said. You're just like bang, bang, doing this, doing this, doing that. And it's just instinctive and it feels so good. I think
Right.
that's
And
good.
you don't just freeze and start
Right.
spinning thinking, what do I have to do next? It's like I have to do everything and I'll do it.
Yeah. But you like instinctively know I'm going to go do the discharge and then clean the room over here and then give the Tylenol and then circle back and clean the room from the patient that I just discharged. Like I don't have to think that out.
Right.
Like I just know that that's what I'm going to do. And, or I know my coworkers well enough to know like, you know, that this person tends to behave in this way. So I'm going to let them go that way and then I'll go this way. And I mean, kind of like working on a team, like maybe you know that your team member likes to, I don't know, I only played water polo, but like, you know, they like to stop short of this part. So I'm going to be ready to toss them the ball earlier than maybe is specific or that someone else would be. I don't know. Like
Yeah.
you just like get that, but it's all instinctive and it just feels so good. It's just
Yeah.
so fun.
And then when you walk out, you're exhausted, but
Yes.
there's a feeling of accomplishment that you don't get in any other way.
And you really truly can't. Maybe I believe in this stuff more than I thought, Kelly. Goodness gracious, it took us 58 minutes, but if you think of like a new nurse or a new nurse to the unit, you really can't achieve that unless you know where the IV tubing is. You feel secure about grabbing something without having to second guess or ask someone else. You feel confident that your friend trusts you to go do something in your room, right? You know that the doctor, I don't know, thinks highly enough of you to put that order in. And you just made the decision to do it because you trust yourself enough to do it. Like you have to have all of them to really reach that point.
Yeah.
Well, this is annoying. Okay, fine. I guess it's true.
Well, I don't know. I think it's an interesting theory, and since you and I started talking about this a few weeks ago, I've kind of been looking at our coworkers in a different way of like, oh, you're just at this level, and maybe I need to support you in that instead of judging you. But at some point, like I hope people realize they need to move through these levels. This is a personal task too. This isn't just something that's going to happen naturally. Like you have to personally take it on to move through life by yourself.
Well, absolutely. And I mean, I don't really feel like I judge our coworkers for things like this that hard. So I don't know what you're doing on your free time. However,
I'm not judging. I mean, we all judge, just it's an observation.
no, sure. No, but I get what you're saying. Like maybe instead of, because I do think that maybe I do expect a lot out of our coworkers and I do get frustrated when those expectations aren't met. But looking at it through this, I think it is helpful to be like, okay, this is where you're at. And maybe I can help reinforce instead of being frustrated that you're bouncing around like a puppy because you're so excited to do this thing that is outside of your reach and me just getting pissy about that and then like refusing to engage. I can help reinforce the things that maybe we need to work on, or maybe somebody that is stalled out in one of these areas, I can be helpful in helping to provide some of the resources for like the next step to
Mm-hmm.
help them progress, which does make it seem like I have a lot of power over people and like influence in their life, which I don't categorically. But, you know, it could be helpful, I guess.
Yeah. Well,
I
there we
don't
go.
know. Well, and The same goes for providers. Not ones that call administration. They're 100% self-actualized, those ones.
Yes, he is.
Okay. So I think we're going to move on to our final little section. That was really fun, Kelly. That was a great topic. So thanks for making me do that. But we are moving into our pulse check section. I'm not as good with the buttons as you are.
I know. I'll click the buttons next time. I thought I was going to be bad because I'm on medication, but no.
No, you're still
you are.
Okay. Yep, just me. All right. Fantastic. What meal are you most excited to cook this week?
Oh, so I went to Costco and got like a huge pack of sirloins and cooked them up, and then I cut them really thin and put those in the fridge. And so I was going to make some fajitas with those.
For tonight or when?
Well, tonight we have a home study for our new foster stuff we're going through. So it depends on when that gets done. If it's not tonight, then it'll be tomorrow.
Oh, that sounds fun. I meant to ask you this question last week when I had something fun to cook. And now that I'm asking you this week, I can't even remember what's on our menu. I think we might have leftovers from here on out, but we're having chili tonight. And so I think that will be
very exciting.
I think that will be good. I don't know, Kelly. I'm really trying to think what else we have. And I don't think we're going out to eat tomorrow night, but I don't know where we're going.
Well, that would be the most exciting thing then.
That would be exciting.
I don't have to cook.
We went out to eat today too. My dad took me out.
Nice.
So I know. He's the nicest guy.
If you had to get a tattoo on your face, what would it be?
Oh my Lanta. You know what? Actually, I was thinking about this today. Joke's on you. I would get eyeliner.
You have the most boring answers, Samantha.
Have you seen? I was watching Bones the other day, and there was the dead person had a tattoo on their tooth. You think you could really do that?
I don't know about the tooth, but I know you can do like the inside of your lip. People do that, like a gang sign.
Oh, what would you put on the inside of your lip?
I don't know.
Okay, what's your face tattoo, Kelly?
Kiss me.
Kiss me.
I don't know. I'd probably put like little stars or something like on the side of my face.
Okay.
Oh, or I could like just have a tiara across my forehead.
No.
That's what I'd have. Tiara, please.
A tiara. You'd have to change your name too.
Yeah.
Think to just tiara.
No, Princess Kelly.
Queen Princess Kelly.
Do you remember that Friends episode where Phoebe changed her name to Princess Banana Hammock? No, Princess Consuela Banana Hammock.
No.
It was great.
I don't remember this at all. I don't know that I have any other questions for you.
Okay. Would you rather take care of a calm autistic patient that smears poo all over the walls?
Oh my gosh.
Or a patient whose mom screams at you in the face while you're trying to put a line in?
The mom, I think.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the poo's bad. And we take care of that too much to talk about.
So, can I have you feel bad for me for a second?
Sure.
Okay, great. I was like squatted down on the floor, wiping adult diarrhea off of into a pile on the adult side last weekend. That was essentially the last. Well, no, I took care of a really lovely lady after that too, but that was like within the last 90 minutes of my third shift over there. And I was just like, oh, I don't miss this at all. Yeah.
I had to take care of a drunk teenager on Monday. Why are we drunk on Monday? I don't know. But we all had to gown up because there was just vomit everywhere. And he was just everywhere. And I looked down when I came out and there was some on my shoe.
No, on the top side or the bottom side?
The top side. And it was not my solid shoe. It was a tennis shoe. And I almost gagged.
So. I've been trying to tell you people for years that tennis shoes and Crocs are not appropriate for the hospital for that very reason. Mm-hmm. It's yucky. Okay. Okay, that's great. Would you rather clean up vomit or diarrhea?
Oh,
For a grown
I was gonna say, is it a
woman.
baby or
No,
an adult?
no. I mean, it could be a teenager, but like a grown, like
Vomit. Vomit.
really?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna take the other end. I think that I would rather clean up poo.
No, adult poo, that smell just does not get out of my nose. I could do kid diarrhea all day, but adult poop, gross.
But adult vomit, like when it's chunky with like the food still in it, I can't
Yeah,
do it.
I do.
I
I am so sorry, Tracy. My best friend is gonna gag when she hears this. She has like a really bad gag reflex, and every time she just hears the word vomit, she's gonna gag. So I love you. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm also sorry. Because okay, do you have it? Wait, was that you? Do you have another question? I have a question, but
Um, what is your ideal weather for relaxation?
oh, well, I mean, it really depends, Kelly.
Okay, well, right now, if you could have it be anything.
I like it warm and sunny, or so if it's gonna be warm, it needs to be sunny, and if it's gonna be sunny, it needs to be warm. If it's not gonna be warm and it's not gonna be sunny, then it needs to just be, like, all the way cold and all the way stormy. I don't like anything in the in-betweens or anything mixed up in those 2 things.
Okay, that's fair.
Okay.
My ultimate relaxation is pouring down rain. I just love like being inside with it pouring down rain. That's my
Okay, but
favorite.
do you fall asleep or do you stay awake? Because, like, part of me is like, "Oh, I'd love to take a nap when it's, like, raining so hard," but then it's like, "But I also wanna stay awake because it's so cool. I don't wanna sleep through it."
I don't know. I will just relax and do whatever my body tells me to do. I don't stress about it.
Okay. That's not helpful. Why do old people have a smell?
Because their body's decomposing.
Are you kidding me?
No,
Do
that's
you
the
really
true
feel
answer.
like that's the real answer?
I do. I feel like their body is slowly decomposing.
I just assumed that it was, like, something that's happened with your sweat glands, but I was talking with another nurse about this weekend, and that's literally what she said.
Yeah,
She was like, "I don't know if this is true, but I think it's just the smell of them, like, rotting from the inside out," and then she
yeah.
was, like, joking and, like, walked away, and it was funny, but then you said that, so now I'm
I
giving to think
really
that
think that's it. I think like I mean, their skin is breaking down, their organs are breaking down, their breath always has that old person breath. And I think it's just their gums and gingivitis. Like,
'cause
you
it
know,
is a very specific smell,
yeah,
right?
if you
Like,
walk into an old person's house, it smells like old people.
but it's not just like it's just as like, "Oh, it kinda smells sweet," or "It kinda smells sour," or "It kinda smells bitter." It is, like, the exact same smell, like,
Yeah.
every grandma you meet over 85 that's not, like, wearing perfume or whatever, it is replicatable through all of them.
Well, it's probably why babies smell so good too,
I
right?
don't
Babies.
really think that that's a thing.
Mm. Oh, I do. Like a freshly born baby. I mean,
Smells like vag, Kelly, stop.
no,
Ugh.
no, like a cleaned up one. Um, like a 2-day-old, they all have that same smell. And then you have like these old people that, I mean, it's like, yeah, it's birth and death.
It's birth and death. Okay. Well,
Let's
on
bottle
that
that.
note, the Maslow's hierarchy right there, birth and death. Okay. Well, thanks for hanging with us for another episode of At the Nurse's Station with Kelly and Sam. We drop every Tuesday. As Kelly said before, we're working really hard. She is actually. It's really her. I'm still doing the same things that I've been doing, but I hope that you're enjoying our new reels. And we should have some great guests coming up as well. So stick with us. In the meantime, we'll save you a seat and we'll catch you next time at the Nurse's Station.
Bye.
Hey guys, this is Kelly from At the Nurse's Station. Sam and I would like to remind you that the views and opinions expressed on this podcast are strictly our own and do not in any way reflect the position of our employers. This podcast is for entertainment purposes only and in no way should be considered medical advice. As always, consult a qualified medical provider for questions regarding your health or medical conditions. We hope you had fun listening to us today, and we'll see you next time at the Nurse's Station.